So we know that the winter meetings are one of the bigger times in free agency in Major League Baseball. In today's video, I'm going to give my 10 bold predictions for the 2020 MLB Winter Meetings. So if you like this kind of content, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you'll get notified whenever I upload a video. About 75% of you that watch these videos are not subscribed, so get your life together and hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and leave a like. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into this video. My first bold prediction is the Oakland A's will not sign any of their players in free agency. They have a lot of players in free agency. They have Jake Lamb. They have Marcus Semien. They have Robbie Grossman. They have Tommy La Stella. They have so many players in free agency this year. The Oakland A's are a team that does not spend money that much. And with all the players they have in free agency, I see them being a third or fourth place team in the AL West next season. They do not spend money and will be a totally different team next season. The top free agents this year that I think will not re-sign are Marcus Semien, Liam Hendricks, Robbie Grossman, Mike Minor, Tommy La Stella. All those players are in free agency this year for the Oakland Athletics, and I just do not see them being as good of a team next season. And right now, I think the AL West is up in the air. The Mariners are in a rebuilding phase, so is the Rangers. The Oakland Athletics are going to get a lot worse this season, or for next season, I feel like. And I think the Astros will get worse as well because it's pretty much been said they're not getting back George Springer. Second bold prediction is the Cubs will not trade Kris Bryant. I do not think the Cubs move on from Kris Bryant this offseason, and the reason is because they think they can get more at the trade deadline if he has a good start to the season, and the Cubs are not competing. I think the right move for the Cubs is to move on from Bryant, but I would understand if they do not move on for Bryant this offseason. There have been some rumors about Bryant being traded. The top teams that could trade Bryant, according to the rumors right now, are the Red Sox, Nationals, and Yankees. I do not see Bryant being traded to the Red Sox. It is a bad fit with the Red Sox. They already have Devers and a ton of outfielders. He could play first base, but I just think he would want to play third base instead of first base, honestly. I don't think he's going to want to learn a whole new position. I just don't think that's happening. Now, yes, I think the right move is for the Cubs to blow it up, but I just do not see that happening this offseason. I think they're going to run it back, even though they did non-tender players like Kyle Schwarber, Albert Almora. They still need a lot of help, and this team is far from complete to be a playoff team, in my opinion. I didn't expect them to be a playoff team in 2020, and I don't think many people did, except maybe Cubs fans did. I do not see them being a playoff team. They have too many spots to fill with the limited cap space that they do have, or salary, or whatever you want to call it. They do not have a lot of salary. I think the right move is to blow it up, but I think they end up keeping Kris Bryant this offseason. They still need starting pitching. Everybody except Yu Darvish should be ready to be out. Next, relief pitching. They definitely need a lot of relief pitching, even though they did make some moves to try to do that at the trade deadline. They kind of miserably failed, honestly. They got beat by the Miami Marlins, who were supposed to be the fifth place team in the NL East this year. Got beat by them, and their top position needs second base. They need a second baseman. They need outfielders. Hayward, he's serviceable. Maybe he can be your right fielder. But you still need a center fielder and a left fielder since you non-tendered Albert Almora and Kyle Schwarber, who got the majority of time in left field and center field. And they have so much spots to fill. And not only mentioning the fact that they non-tendered Jose Martinez, who was a good player for them, a power bat, exactly what they need. This team has a long ways to go, and I think the right move is to trade Kris Bryant, but I do not think they do. Next is Liam Hendricks signs with the San Francisco Giants. The Giants have quite a bit of money this offseason to offer Hendricks, and I think they can and will sign Hendricks this offseason. This is a great fit. The Giants' bullpen was their biggest weakness in 2020, the reason why they did not make the playoffs. There was 8 teams in each division, and they came in at number 9. In my opinion, they need pitching all around, but the relief pitching was worse, and Hendricks could give them a closer they need. They blew almost half of their save chances in 2020, and that is unacceptable. And one of the best closers in the game would be great for them. You cannot give up that much and expect to be a playoff team. Now, yes, there was expanded playoffs, and they almost made the playoffs, which was a surprise to everyone. But I don't think the Giants are a playoff team. I don't think they're built to be a playoff team. Now, yes, they've got good players like Mike Yastrzemski, very underrated. Donovan Solano. They've got a lot of kind of hidden gems in that farm system. They've still got Joey Bart to come up, Ramos to come up, Seth Corey to come up, who I think is going to be a really good left-handed pitcher for them, a kind of Blake Snell type of player. And just happens to be that Blake Snell's the next bold prediction. Blake Snell will be traded. I think Blake Snell will be traded at this year's winter meetings. I feel like the Rays are not telling anyone this, but Snell has requested a trade because of Kevin Cash. And I think the team that is going to make a strong push for Snell is the Los Angeles Angels. He is on a great contract and would fit great with them. And if they do sign Bauer, which there have been some rumors, they would have a top 3 in the rotation of Bauer, Snell, and Bundy. But they still do need some relief pitching in this team. Even if they do get Snell and Bauer, what people are realizing are still maybe they're a playoff team, but they're not a World Series contender in my opinion because they still need relief pitching. I mean Albert Pujols, he's just not great. They're far from done. I think the trade, if it happens, will look something like Brendan Marsh, their number 2 prospect, Jared Walsh, who showed some potential, and I think the Rays would want in this trade because I think the Rays could develop him into a good player. They're known to develop players into good players like they've done with G-Man Choi, who's also a first baseman. He can play first base and third base. Jahmai Jones for Snell. I know this may seem like a little lot to be giving up for Snell, but it is good value for both teams. He's getting paid roughly $10 million, which is a steal for a Cy Young type pitcher like Blake Snell is. Coming in at number 5 on the bold predictions is Francisco Lindor will be traded to the Yankees. I still think Lindor goes to the Yankees this offseason. I cannot see a reason Cleveland would decline this offer, and there's no reason not to trade him because they will just lose him for nothing in free agency because Mr. Dolan, the owner of Cleveland, just doesn't spend any money. And if this package was on the table, I would do it in a second for Cleveland. The package is Clint Frazier, Gio Urshela, and Luis Severino for Lindor. This is a great trade for both sides, in my opinion. Cleveland gets a young outfielder back, and they need outfield help so bad. Not to mention the fact they get Severino, who I think could be really good for Cleveland. Cleveland always develops their pitching well, and maybe Severino is the next pitcher they develop into a really good pitcher. And Urshela is just kind of a throw-in in this trade because the Yankees have no use for him. But Cleveland wants to trade Lindor to the Mets, according to a rumor. I think it could happen, but there was also a report that said Lindor will most likely not be traded this offseason. But I think he will be traded to the Yankees. I think they have the best package, and yeah. Next is, number 6 is DJ LeMahieu re-signs with the Yankees. I think LeMahieu is going to the Mets or the Yankees. I think he's staying in New York, just with what team. LeMahieu would be, they are kind of going to get Lindor for one season, which means they will most likely just go all in for next season, which would be World Series title or bust. I think he re-signs with the Yankees for about $20 million a year. This offseason is best fits with the Yankees, and I think they re-sign him this offseason for a contract of 5 years, $100 million, or 4 years, $80 million. Next, coming in at number 7 is Whit Merrifield is traded to the Chicago Cubs. There have been rumors about Whit Merrifield being traded to the Cubs, and I think it is a great fit considering Jason Kipnis was there, second base in 2020. Not only can Merrifield fill that second base role, he could play some outfield, to which they really need help in the outfield as well. Even though I think the Cubs should blow it up this offseason, I just do not see them blowing it up. I see them running it back for one more season before a lot of their best players are free agents. He is also on a very cheap contract. That is the main reason why the Cubs can trade for him. Next season, Merrifield will get paid around $7 million, and that is an absolute steal. The trade I could see happening is Adbert Ozela, the Cubs' number 6 prospect, Brennan Davis, the Cubs' number 2 prospect, Zach Short, Keegan Thompson, the Cubs' number 26 prospect, for Whit Merrifield. Now, this may seem like a ton of value you're giving up. You're giving up your number 2 prospect, your number 6 prospect, your number 26 prospect. And you could argue Zach Short's a top 30 prospect, too, for this team. Whit Merrifield to the Cubs, it's a win. It's a win now move, but it's also for the future too because you've got many more years of control of Whit Merrifield. Next is Lance Lynn's trade to the Toronto Blue Jays. Lynn to the Blue Jays was kind of rumored to happen at the 2020 MLB trade deadline, but did not happen. He will get paid around $8 million this upcoming season and will be a free agent after the 2021 MLB season. I think this is a great fit for Lynn and the Blue Jays. Have a good package they could propose to the Rangers. Here's the package that I could see happening. Anthony Kay, Julian Merriweather, and Alex Manoah, the number 5 prospect in the Blue Jays organization for Lance Lynn. There were rumors at the deadline that Lynn's value is very high in the trade market, and there's no reason it could have gone down. This is a good trade for both sides, in my opinion. Next, coming in at number 9, is George Springer signs with the Boston Red Sox. Even though in my free agent prediction video I said that Springer would sign with the Reds, after all these rumors, I think it makes a ton of sense for both sides. Next season, the Red Sox should be back in contention after a terrible 2020 season. They will most likely lose Jackie Bradley in free agency, but Springer is the way better player, and even without the trash can bang, Springer was one of the few Astros hitters that could actually hit in 2020. Springer has also said he does not want to return to the Astros, and I don't blame him. I would not want to go back to that team. And my 10th bold prediction is that James McCann signs with the New York Mets. Now, I thought JT Realmuto was going to sign with the New York Mets. Wrong, it seems like, because James McCann and the New York Mets just seems like a perfect fit, and it really is a perfect fit. And, yeah, I mean, nothing much more to be said. James McCann's probably going to sign with the New York Mets. It's already been rumored. It's probably going to happen sooner than later. So, yeah, those are my 10 bold predictions for the 2020 MLB Winter Meetings. Now, another bold prediction could be that nothing happens, and that's very possible. But, yeah, if you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you'll get notified whenever I upload a video. Leave a like, subscribe, turn on notifications. 75% of you that watch these videos are not subscribed. Get your life together, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and leave a like. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back with more videos soon.